Today began with excitement on the set of the Kelly Clarkson Show as fans eagerly waited for a special guest appearance by country superstar Tim McGraw. The audience was buzzing, the cameras were ready, and Kelly Clarkson's usual charm filled the studio. No one could have predicted that what started as a friendly interview would soon turn into one of the most talked about moments in daytime TV history. Tim McGraw entered the stage to thunderous applause, looking calm and collected in his signature cowboy hat and boots. Kelly greeted him warmly, recalling their long friendship and shared moments in the music industry. The conversation began smoothly, touching on Tim's recent tour, his fitness routine, and his marriage to fellow country legend Faith Hill. Everything seemed perfectly normal until the topic shifted to recent controversies. Kelly, known for her honest and open style, brought up a recent social media post that had divided fans. She asked him about comments he made regarding the direction of modern country music, specifically about losing its soul. The question appeared harmless, but Tim's expression instantly changed. His posture stiffened, and the room's energy shifted. McGraw took a deep breath before responding. He explained that his statement had been misunderstood, saying he only meant that storytelling in country music was evolving. Kelly pressed further, suggesting that some artists might have felt insulted by his remarks. At that point, Tim's tone grew defensive, and what was meant to be a casual chat began to sound like a heated debate on live television. The studio audience grew quiet, sensing the rising tension. Kelly tried to keep the tone light, adding a quick laugh and saying, "You know I love stirring things up." But Tim wasn't amused. He leaned forward, his voice firm, insisting that people were twisting his words. The conversation moved from playful to personal within seconds. Kelly attempted to smooth things over, suggesting that the music industry always evolves and that artists like Tim play a big role in shaping its direction. But Tim interrupted, saying that people don't understand the hard work and respect behind traditional country roots. His frustration was visible, and even Kelly appeared caught off guard by the intensity of his response. At one point, Kelly mentioned how some younger artists saw Tim's comments as dismissive. That seemed to strike a nerve. Tim leaned back in his chair, looked at Kelly, and said, "I've earned my place in this industry, Kelly. I don't need to apologize for speaking my truth." The tension in the studio became undeniable. Kelly, maintaining professionalism, responded calmly, "Of course, Tim. No one's questioning your legacy. We're just talking about how fans and fellow artists took your words." However, Tim wasn't ready to move on. His voice grew sharper, and his usual laid-back smile was nowhere to be found. Audience members later shared on social media that they could feel the discomfort from their seats. What was supposed to be a heartwarming reunion between two country music icons had become an unexpected confrontation. Kelly tried shifting the conversation to lighter topics, but Tim kept circling back to the criticism he faced online. Kelly finally said, "Tim, I think everyone knows how passionate you are, but sometimes online reactions just take on a life of their own." Instead of agreeing, Tim replied, "That's easy for you to say, Kelly. You've never had your integrity questioned over your music." The audience gasped softly at the remark, realizing the situation was spiraling out of control. Kelly's face remained calm, but her eyes showed a flash of surprise. She responded with grace, saying, "I think we all face criticism in this business. It's part of being in the spotlight." But Tim didn't seem satisfied. He crossed his arms, visibly irritated. The friendly interview had completely fallen apart. Trying to diffuse the tension, Kelly reached for humor. "All right, I think we both need a cup of coffee after this one," she joked. But the smile never returned to Tim's face. He gave a curt nod, barely acknowledging her attempt. The audience clapped awkwardly, unsure of how to react. As producers behind the cameras exchanged nervous looks, Kelly pivoted the discussion to Tim's upcoming album. But even that didn't lighten the mood. Tim answered questions briefly, his tone distant. Kelly's natural warmth wasn't enough to recover the friendly energy that had filled the room earlier. The awkwardness became undeniable. A few audience members whispered among themselves, sensing that the moment might not end peacefully. Tim glanced toward the wings of the stage as if deciding whether to continue. Kelly, always the professional, tried one last time to re-establish connection, complimenting his latest single. "It's a great song, Kelly said, smiling. "You've still got that magic, Tim." But instead of softening, Tim muttered, "Magic doesn't mean much when people twist your words." The air grew thick with silence. Kelly nodded politely, realizing there was little more she could do. A few moments later, Tim abruptly stood up. Kelly looked startled but tried to maintain composure. "Are you okay?" she asked. Tim replied coldly, "I think I've said enough for today." He removed his mic and set it on the table, signaling that he was done. The audience collectively gasped. Kelly, visibly stunned, attempted to keep the show moving. "Well, everyone, that's Tim McGraw, always honest and passionate about his music," she said, forcing a nervous smile. Tim, without another word, walked off the stage, leaving everyone in complete shock. The cameras captured every second of his exit. As Tim disappeared backstage, Kelly took a deep breath and tried to regain her composure. She thanked the audience for being understanding and quickly transitioned to a commercial break. The studio lights dimmed, and murmurs filled the air as crew members scrambled behind the scenes. Sources later revealed that producers attempted to convince Tim to return for a proper wrap-up, but he refused. He reportedly told the team he didn't appreciate being ambushed with controversial questions. Kelly, meanwhile, was said to be upset but professional, insisting she never intended to provoke him. The moment quickly made its way online. Clips of the tense exchange spread across social media within hours, sparking debates among fans and viewers. Some sided with Tim, arguing that he had every right to defend himself. Others believed Kelly was simply doing her job as a talk show host. Hashtags like #Tim McGraw walks off and #Kelly Clarkson Show began trending on X, formerly Twitter. Fans dissected every moment of the conversation, replaying body language, tone, and facial expressions. What had started as a normal interview turned into a viral cultural event overnight. Entertainment outlets picked up the story, with headlines emphasizing Tim's dramatic exit. Some reports claimed there was long-standing tension between him and Kelly dating back to a previous industry disagreement, though neither star confirmed those rumors. The mystery only fueled public curiosity. Behind the scenes, crew members described the atmosphere as unlike anything we've seen before. One source shared that Kelly tried to speak with Tim afterward, but he had already left the building. Another said that Faith Hill, Tim's wife, called producers later to apologize for the situation. Kelly addressed the incident briefly the next day during her show, maintaining her trademark positivity. She told viewers that emotions can run high in the entertainment industry and that she respected Tim both as an artist and as a person. Her remarks earned praise for their professionalism. Tim, on the other hand, remained silent for several days. When he finally spoke through a social media post, he said, "Sometimes passion gets the best of us. I have deep respect for Kelly and wish her nothing but the best." His fans appreciated his statement, though debates continued. Industry insiders noted that the clash highlighted a bigger conversation about authenticity in country music. Some said Tim's frustration reflected his desire to protect traditional values in the genre. Others argued it was simply an overreaction during a high-pressure interview. Despite the tension, ratings for the Kelly Clarkson Show soared following the incident. Viewers tuned in to see what had gone wrong, and clips of the moment gained millions of views across social platforms. The drama unexpectedly boosted visibility for both stars. In the weeks that followed, both Kelly and Tim avoided commenting further. The incident slowly faded, but fans continued to bring it up in interviews and online discussions. It became one of those unforgettable talk show moments that live on long after the cameras stop rolling. Some media analysts pointed out that such clashes, though uncomfortable, often reveal the real emotions behind celebrity personas. Kelly's calm handling and Tim's passionate defense showcased two very different approaches to authenticity, both resonating deeply with fans. In the end, the incident served as a reminder that even the most seasoned stars can have raw, unscripted moments. For viewers, it was shocking, emotional, and undeniably real. And while time may heal the awkwardness, that day on the Kelly Clarkson Show will forever be remembered as the moment Tim McGraw walked off, making live TV history. In the days following the episode, Talk show analysts and entertainment experts dissected every second of Tim McGraw's exit. Some argued that Kelly Clarkson's team should have briefed him more thoroughly about the questions, while others felt that Tim's quick temper caught everyone by surprise. The incident became a case study in how live television can spiral from calm to chaos within moments. Meanwhile, Kelly's production staff reportedly reviewed the footage repeatedly, deciding whether to air the full unedited segment or trim the most uncomfortable parts. Ultimately, they chose to broadcast the episode mostly intact, valuing transparency and acknowledging that viewers had already seen leaked clips circulating online. Fans who attended the taping described an eerie silence after Tim's departure. Some claimed Kelly handled it like a true professional, while others noted the emotional strain on her face as she attempted to regain control of the show. The contrast between her calm demeanor and Tim's fiery exit became one of the most replayed scenes of the week. Industry insiders suggested that Tim's frustration might not have been solely about the interview. Rumors hinted at growing personal stress from his hectic touring schedule and pressures of maintaining his legacy in a rapidly changing music scene. Whether those rumors were true or not, they painted a more human picture of the country legend. Social media continued buzzing for days. Fans posted reaction videos, memes, and even fan-made edits of the argument, setting the tense exchange to dramatic music. The clip became a viral moment that transcended country music audiences, attracting mainstream attention across the entertainment world. Kelly's celebrity friends also began weighing in subtly. A few posted supportive comments on her social media, praising her patience and grace under pressure. Some artists even joked about wanting to walk off her show just to see how well she'd handle it. Kelly responded with humor, keeping the mood light despite the lingering tension. Tim's camp stayed mostly quiet. His representatives issued a short statement emphasizing his respect for Kelly but criticizing how the segment was framed. They insisted that Tim had been blindsided by the nature of the questions, suggesting that the interview's direction wasn't what he had agreed to beforehand. This sparked a fresh wave of debates online. Was the walk-off justified? Should hosts be held accountable for unexpected questions? Was Tim's reaction a genuine emotional outburst or a strategic move to grab headlines? Everyone had an opinion, and the internet made sure every voice was heard. Late-night hosts also joined the conversation, turning the incident into comedy gold. Monologues joked about country stars storming stages and Kelly Clarkson's unshakable calm. Even Kelly herself laughed about it in a light-hearted social media post, proving once again that she could turn awkwardness into relatability. The story took another twist when a behind-the-scenes video surfaced, showing Tim pacing backstage immediately after leaving the stage. Crew members tried to calm him down, but his frustration was clear. That short clip added fuel to the fire, reigniting public interest and raising more questions about what really triggered his anger. Music critics began analyzing the deeper implications of the clash. They saw it as symbolic of the tension between traditional and modern country music, a reflection of how passionate artists are about preserving authenticity while adapting to new trends. Tim's walk-off suddenly became part of a larger cultural conversation. Kelly's show received praise for not editing out the moment or making excuses. Viewers admired her honesty and willingness to face uncomfortable situations on live TV. Many fans commented that the authenticity made them respect her even more, seeing her as someone who doesn't hide behind scripts or media polish. For Tim, however, the incident took longer to shake off. Some fans defended him, saying it showed his genuine personality, while others felt it tarnished his usually calm and collected image. Still, his music sales remained strong, suggesting that controversy only made his fanbase more loyal. As the buzz began to cool, industry veterans weighed in, reminding everyone that such moments have happened throughout TV history. From celebrity walkouts to emotional breakdowns, live shows have always carried the risk and thrill of unpredictability. Tim's exit simply joined that long, fascinating list. Months later, Kelly and Tim crossed paths again at a country music awards event. Observers noted that they exchanged polite smiles and brief words, hinting that the tension had eased. Neither has publicly spoken in detail about what was said, but those who saw it described the moment as civil, perhaps even healing. In interviews afterward, Kelly reflected on the unpredictability of hosting live guests. Without directly naming Tim, she said, "You can't always control how conversations go, but what matters is handling it with respect." Her statement was widely interpreted as a subtle nod to that unforgettable day. Tim, meanwhile, channeled his emotions into his music. His next single carried a tone of introspection, with lyrics about pride, forgiveness, and moving forward. Many fans felt it was inspired by the incident with Kelly, though he never confirmed it. The song became one of his most streamed releases of the year. Over time, the walk-off evolved from a controversy into a story of passion, pride, and perspective. Fans began viewing it less as a meltdown and more as an honest human moment between two strong personalities who simply saw things differently. Both stars ultimately came out of it respected in their own right. Entertainment historians now cite the episode as an example of how authenticity drives modern media. Audiences crave real emotion, and the McGraw-Clarkson clash delivered just that: unfiltered, unpredictable, and unforgettable. It showed that even seasoned professionals can have raw, unscripted moments that reveal their humanity. In the end, the dust settled, and both Kelly Clarkson and Tim McGraw continued to shine in their respective fields. The day Tim stormed off her show became part of talk show legend day, not just for the drama, but for reminding the world that passion and honesty, even when messy, are what make live television truly alive.